Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the $500,000 Untapable Stakes at Kentucky Downs on Wednesday. These are 2-year-old fillies going 6.5 furlongs on the turf. Let's take a look at this field. It is an overflow field, 12 in the body of the race, 13 through 15. Also eligibles wide open on the morning line with the 6. Hidden Class, a recent winner at Kentucky Downs, your 7-2 morning line favorite for Joel Rosario.
Yeah, this is just one of those wide open races for 2-year-olds, Dan. Everybody is so very lightly raced in here. Most of them have run pretty well, though, winning on the way into this thing. So we'll see how it all shakes out. I think there are a lot of different ways you could go, though.
And some of these horses have shown high speed in their short careers. We throw up the Timeform US pace projector. It's a fast-paced situation. The 7 Song of Norway, debut winner in gate-to-wire fashion at Ellis Park. Maya's Halo, gate-to-wire winner at Ellis in her second lifetime start. They're expected to be close to the pace, as is the dirt-to-turf performer Copper M.
Yeah, we'll see if Copper M can bring her speed over to the turf courses. There's showed a lot of speed in her debut, so she could certainly make the lead here if she handles turf. That too, Maya's Halo, she's looked pretty fast to me, and both of her starts. The Ward filly, the 7, she wired a field to break her maiden dam, but that wasn't a particularly fast pace.
Determined Driver, the number 3, as the LP flag indicates that she has the fastest Timeform US late pace figure. The 1 Candy Girl has tactical speed, as we see on the pace projector, and in her second lifetime start, she sat just off of the leader. It was her turf debut, and she sprinted on home. She won that race very easily.
Yes, she did. She got a great trip in there, but it was pretty nice to see her just sort of sit comfortably behind horses. The rail was open for her. She came right up the inside, but she did finish that race off pretty impressively. Another good trip could be coming here.
Maya's Halo, the number 2, is very fast for Eddie Keneally. Showed big speed in her debut, and just was run down late. That did not happen in start number 2. She was maybe a little bit tighter. She was odds on. She went to the front. Nobody caught her that day. Stereo 64 Beyer speed figures for a filly that will be close to the pace.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's run fine in both of her starts. I mean, I didn't think she had a particular excuse to lose the first one, but the horse that ran her down, that filly could be pretty good. So maybe that's enough of an excuse in its own right. She won easily last time. I didn't think the pace was maybe as fast as the fractions might suggest, but she still looks good winning.
The 3 is Determined Driver, who was a debut winner on the turf at Colonial for trainer Phil Schoenthal. Was a big price that day, got it done. And then they threw a light at her in her second lifetime start. She faced boys going 2 turns at Timonium over the bull ring. She didn't break very well. She made a big wide move into contention, and she ran an okay second behind a horse that had a much better trip.
Yeah, that horse did have a much better trip. This horse had, just out of the gate, probably had enough of an excuse, but I still thought did a little bit of running there. I really liked her debut at Colonial. I know it was a restricted maiden race, but she looked good to me winning that race. I think she's a player in here at a price.
Relu Gutierrez takes the mount. Honey Dijon is going to be trying turf for the first time. Thus far, the Gervins have done okay on the turf. I don't see a ton of grass on the bottom of this pedigree, but Honey Dijon looked good in an off-turf race, second time out at Saratoga for Sharp, earned a pretty big buyer.
Yeah, I thought she looked good winning that race, too. That, of course, was scheduled for the grass, so Sharp did want to make the switch with her. Her debut was fine, too. She just didn't break that well in there, looked a little green. It was always on the outside, but she showed a little bit of run that day, and then she ran a lot better in her second start. You're right, Dan. There's not a ton of turf here, but there's some turf here, and there's a lot of class on the bottom of this pedigree.
Not sure Schoenthal is going to run the 5 Determined Sailback on only 3 days rest. The horse ran quite fine against the Boys and the Kittens Joy, going 2 turns at Colonial. Showed good early speed, hung in there to only be beaten 2 lengths. Not sure they're going to run him here, but that last race shows that she's got a little bit of ability.
Yeah, she did improve. Yeah, I guess the question you could ask yourself is, did she improve because they gave her more distance to work with, or did that not really have anything to do with it? It was just experience. I kind of feel like it could just be the experience, Dan. If she runs here, I guess there's a way to make a case for her, but man, they'd be asking a lot to wheel her back on that kind of rest.
Hidden Class made her debut in a quality race at Saratoga. She ran a fine second. Sharp ran her against winners in her second lifetime start at Kentucky Downs. No problems whatsoever in this race. I like this filly's tactical speed. She was able to sit right off the lead, and when Joel asked her for run, she took over willingly.
Yeah, she did. She wins this race very, very easily. I like this performance, too. Her debut was okay at Saratoga. I mean, that was a really fast-paced race, and she and the winner both sort of rallied into it. So In some ways, she had all the best of it there, but she still ran well, and she obviously runs even better here. This is an easy win.
Song of Norway is the number 7. It was a Wesley Ward first-time starter. You expect them to win. She won. She was the favorite. She showed good early speed like many Ward-trained firsters, and I won't be surprised if John Velasquez puts her on the chooch again.
Yeah, I think they probably will come out running. I mean, again, that pace wasn't particularly fast first time out, but it didn't kind of look like it was going to matter. She looks pretty fast. She made an easy lead, and that race was basically never in doubt. This really could be pretty good, Dan. We'll see what kind of trip she can get this time.
Number 8, Zoe Lee, unbeaten from 2 lifetime starts for a very good trainer, and Kelsey Danner. Both of those wins at Colonial, going 5.5. Just got away sitting off an easy pace last time out as the favorite. They went 46 and change to the half in a 5.5 furlong sprint. She had plenty left in the tank. Faster pace, tougher competition this time around.
Yeah, it feels like the trip has to be a little bit tougher for her this time. I don't really want to knock her, Dan. She's gotten 2 good trips, and she's won both of her starts. She didn't get a ton of respect first time out. But they gave her a lot of respect last time, and she won easy.
New York-based trainer Rob Atras sent the number 9 Testament down to Laurel Park for her debut, and she showed off a strong late kick. This is a daughter of Constitution, turning into the long stretch at Laurel in these 5.5 furlong races. This pace setter is going to get very tired late, and Testament was able to save valuable ground under Jayron Barbosa. She's running at the end.
Yeah, this is a good trip for her, but she does, to her credit, she does stay on really well here at the end. And the long stretch just plays to her advantage in this race, Dan, because this leader is going to come back to her at the end, and she's going to scoot right by here. Another long stretch in play here at Kentucky Downs, and we already know that she likes it.
Buttercream Babe was a popular gate-to-wire winner at Kentucky Downs on August the 21st. For Mike Maker, let's watch Buttercream Babe, who went right to the lead in this race and got it rated beautifully. They went almost 47 seconds to the half, and Buttercream Babe opened up at just the right time in upper stretch and is going to keep on going. There's just nobody running at him at the end.
Yeah, no, I mean, she controlled things on a really slow pace for this kind of a race, Dan, and she just had plenty left here in the final furlong or so. She's just going to keep edging away from these horses. She looks pretty good winning. She also just had all the best of it. This race is supposed to be run in an entirely different fashion. We'll see how she stacks up.
Not too many Steve Asmussen-trained first-time starters would go off at 15-1. That was the case with the 11 Copper M, who made a winning debut, and I thought she looked pretty good doing it at Ellis Park, going 5/8 of a mile. She ran in the Adirondack after that race, and the winner of that race looks like a nice horse. That, of course, is Bright Work, who came back to win the Spinaway closing week. Now Asmussen's going to try turf. Way too early to see what the Copper Bullets are going to do on the grass. He's a first-crop sire. The dam has at least thrown 1 turf winner.
Yeah, a little bit of turf on the bottom. We'll see what this horse does. I don't know if it's necessarily a negative that they're going to switch right over to turf, Dan. She didn't run well in the Adirondack, but I thought that was a pretty strong field overall for that kind of a race. So maybe you don't want to be too hard on her, because like you, I thought her debut was really good. I know it was on dirt, but she was pretty sharp that day.
Crown Imperial is the number 12. She's hit the board in all 4 lifetime starts, including 2 stakes on the turf. Here's her race in the Bolton Landing at Saratoga, where she sat in the pocket. The rail opened up. Crown Imperial's going to surge on through, and she's just going to miss.
Yeah, she got a great trip in this race. The rail, she always had room down there, Dan. She has every chance to win this thing, and she's just going to come up short to the favorite here, the Weaver horse amidst waves. I don't know. I guess she ran fine in this race. Her 2 turf starts are okay to me. They didn't necessarily make me want to bet her in this race.
The 13 through 15 are entered as also eligibles. I guess if I had to pick one, I liked Sweet Catherine Rose's debut. I know she was only in for $50,000 that day, but she really ran that last 1/8 of a mile.
Yeah, she did. I liked that performance from her, too. I also felt like the 15 Fairhope Curly, I thought that horse could be interesting, too. Another one with no figure on the way in from like a sort of a minor track, but a really good trainer, and she won that race pretty easy.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Untappable. Mike, you're going with Song of Norway off that impressive debut win in gate-to-wire fashion.
I just liked her debut, Dan. We'll see I thought maybe she wouldn't take a ton of money in this race. I don't think I would want too short a price on her, but I thought she looked good winning first time out.
I liked Copper M's debut on dirt. She might have been in too tough in stakes action last time out. She's been working on the grass for Asmussen. With her tactical speed, she should be up close to the early pace. The price is right, at least on the morning line. 7-3-4-1 for Mike, 11-7-6-12 for me on the Untappable at Kentucky Downs on Wednesday. Good luck.